PlaySqorrTV. I am joined again by Pro Football Hall of Famer Terrell Owens. Terrell, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good, and I'm Terrell Owens, and I'm joined here on PlaySqorr with Jen. Hi, everybody.
I love it. I got to start out by saying, I got to give it up to you. You called that Tennessee Titans upset. It was fantastic. So talk to me a little bit about that game.
Well, the thing is that I don't look at it from a fan perspective, and obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of fans that watch these games, and they gravitate to their team. They love their teams. They support the teams for one reason or another. And then you have people that are supporting teams just for the team colors. But I honestly, like I said, I understand the game. I played the game, and I don't really get emotionally. I don't have that. My emotions sway me one way or the other. I just try to look at the logistics and really just the ebb and flow of the game and how guys play throughout the course of the season. I kind of understand, like, sometimes going into the playoffs, some teams, they can hit like a hot streak. They can ride that momentum into the playoffs. And with the Tennessee Titans, you saw that. You saw with the emergence of their run game. You have the leading rusher and Derrick Henry, a Heisman winner in college, and he's been playing very, very well. I didn't know that, I knew that he was the running back that he's presented himself. I thought something may have been wrong. I think when the coach sat him out maybe a week or two right before the playoffs, so I thought he may have been injured or what have you. But I think it was a great thing to kind of rest him up a little bit, have him ready for the playoffs. And as you saw, and as I said, they're a team, obviously, with Tannehill taking over for Mariota. That's been a big key to their offense. But the big key for their offense is really Derrick Henry, that running back. And that when you get that running game going, the pass game opens up that much more. And again, we didn't see A.J. Brown, do what he's done throughout the course of the year, but they're going to need his play leading up to these next couple of playoff games if they can make it to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, that actually leads me to my next question. Now, of course, they are going to face the number 1 seed Baltimore Ravens, so they have their work cut out for them. Do you think they're going to stick with Derrick Henry, or do you think they are going to target A.J. Brown more?
I think they're going to go with the bread and butter, which is what they've been utilizing, to get them where they are. And I think that's the running game. I think if they can get a lead and they can establish something with the running game and hit some passes here and there, and if they can establish something with that run game and get a lead, and to keep Lamar Jackson off the field, then they have an opportunity to win. I think that's the formula that they use with the Patriots. And I think what's the coach's name? Mark Vrabel. I can't pronounce it.
I know it's a name.
Vrabel, whatever the case may be. He recognized it. He's played in a Bill Belichick offense. He played on that team. He understands the nuances and what makes Tom Brady who he is, the 6-time Super Bowl champion. He knows that it's when he's on the field, they have an opportunity to win. So if they can keep him off the field and keep that clock running with the lead, then they have the best chance to win the game.
Absolutely. Do you think it's going to be a close one?
I'm not sure. Again, it's sometimes, like I said, sometimes it's good to kind of keep the ball rolling, and when you're hot, you just keep rolling. And that could be, it's one of those double-edged sword type of things. Like, they've been hot, sometimes it's good to just keep rolling. Sometimes a bye, it could be good or bad. I think the good is when you have guys like Mark Ingram, who sustained the calf injury. That gives him another week to heal. But then, from a team aspect standpoint, it's like, okay, you're in a rhythm, you're balling. And sometimes, like I said, you got to find some way to keep that competitive edge. And so sometimes, like I said, a week off, that can kind of hurt you. But if you have the right nucleus of guys and veterans in that locker room, they kind of keep that edge, your energy going into the playoffs. If you can keep that going, then it bodes well for the team. So I think I said the good thing is that the guys that are injured, especially Mark Ingram, who's a big part of their running game, it allowed him another week of rest. And so with Lamar Jackson, who knows? Like I said, you're going to have two quarterbacks that are going to be going, back and forth. You think about the running game. I mean, he's a guy that, again, he brings a lot to the pass game and the run game at the same time.
Yeah.
So when you talk about, both teams establishing a run game, it's like a double-edged sword with him, because he can do it with his feet and he can do it with his arms. So it's going to be, I think the tale of the game is going to be who can establish, a ground game. And for the Tennessee, they're going to have their work cut out to stop Lamar Jackson from getting outside of the pocket.
Absolutely. We have a PlaySqorr matchup head-to-head with A.J. Brown versus DK Metcalf, and we saw how hot DK was last week. But how would you lean in this matchup?
Ooh, that's going to be tough. I think I'm gonna go with A.J. Brown this time around because I think they're gonna have to establish something with the run with Derrick Henry, but they're gonna have to pass the ball a little bit more than they did last time. And hold on, sorry about that. And A.J. Brown is gonna have to really step up and make some plays. So when you think about DK Metcalf and what he's done with the Seattle Seahawks, it's not surprising. It's funny, I talk to him, kind of weekly. I kind of see his game. A lot of people have mentioned and tried to say that, he reminds, a lot of people of myself. But you think, I don't think I could ever, I think it's an honor to be put in the same, class of him, especially at a rookie stage. I was never that good. He's definitely far head and shoulders above where I was at the rookie stage. So the sky's the limit for this guy, and he has a great quarterback in Russell Wilson. So I think, with them playing the Niners, who's playing the Niners this week?
The Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, they play the Vikings. But with DK, he's been on a hot streak, and so if he can just keep that chemistry going with Russell Wilson, I think that the sky's the limit for him. But I think A.J. Brown hasn't made a statement, hasn't had a statement game just yet in the playoffs. So I think this may be the game for him. But like I said, it's going to start with the run game.
I like that. And it was so nice what you just said about DK Metcalf. But I have a feeling DK Metcalf would be pretty excited if his career turned out even remotely like yours.
Trust me, he's got a head start from where I was. So like I said,
so cool.
The sky's the limit for this guy.
I love that. I love hearing that. So yeah, let's go over to that San Francisco-Minnesota matchup. Do you think this one is also going to be, Dalvin Cook's game, like two run games, or do you think it will be more in the air?
I think they're probably going to have to try to go through the air. I think those guys are going to, rise to the occasion. They realize that Dalvin Cook is going to present a challenge for them in the run game. But if you factor in what a lot of the run attack, the run game has been, for their defense throughout the course of the year, they haven't nobody's fared out very well, especially when you got Buckner, Armstead, you got Bosa, those guys on the interior, and then you got, guys on the back end with Sherman shoring up the secondary. It's going to be a great game, but I don't really foresee them coming out victorious against the Niners.
Yeah, the Niners are really good. And I just want to jump over quickly to the Seattle-Green Bay game. I think I may have misspoke earlier about that matchup. There's only going to be one veteran quarterback that's going to advance here. We've either got Russ or we've got Aaron Rodgers, and then it's all new kids on the block. Who do you think is going to get the best of it, Rodgers or Wilson?
I mean, you have to go with the home team, and then you think about just the environment. I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be 75 and sunny. And so this is going to be a game where I think it bodes well. I think for the home team, for a team that's used to playing in that type of environment, that weather. Not that Seattle isn't, but I think, like I said, DK Metcalf. I mean, this is a guy. Hold on, sorry, somebody keeps calling me. This is a game where, again, he's very muscular. I already told him you're going to hydrate, you're going to stretch. For a guy, with his explosiveness, fast twitch, he's going to have to prepare his body for that cold, inclement weather. And so, especially when you have muscular guys, that we don't really function well in that type of weather. So he definitely has to keep himself warm, keep those hamstrings warm, things of that nature. Because when you have explosive guys like that, in that colder weather, and you're not warmed up properly, those type of things can happen. So hopefully, like I said, there's going to be a veteran quarterback that to advance at after this game. Who knows? But like I said, Russell Wilson, you can't count him out. Again, they have beast mode back there. He hasn't played like the beast mode that we've wanted to because of just the lack of playing throughout the course of the year, just the endurance, the cardiovascular. They've used him where he's very dangerous and advantageous. That's in the goal line, short yardage plays. He has 2 touchdowns, played in 2 games thus far, 2 touchdowns. So again, I think Pete Carroll knows if it's anything in the red zone, 4th and 1 or 5 or whatever, give beast mode the ball. So, but I think
totally.
Coming out of this game, like I said, I'm not rooting for anybody, but if I have to pick a team, I'm going to go for the home team, which is the Green Bay Packers.
Absolutely. Now, this is kind of an inquiring minds want to know. If you're not watching NFL, what's your sport? Is it NBA, MLB?
Automatically, NBA. Anybody, you ask that question to anybody that knows me, they'll tell you NBA all day.
And who's your favorite player?
I have a bunch of favorite players that I like to watch, from KD, Kyrie, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, LeBron. Obviously,
so good.
My 2 favorites of all time is Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. You got Paul George. There's so many great players, and there's a lot of budding young stars that are coming along as well. Kimball Walker. I like what Trey Young is doing out there in the Atlanta Hawks. Joel Embiid. I like the progression of where he is. I don't think they're going to go far in the playoffs this year because Ben Simmons, he doesn't have a shot. There's only so much you can do with just him being one-dimensional. I know they said he worked on his shot over the summer. He's made maybe 1 or 2 jump shots thus far. But I think when going into the playoffs, that's going to be their Achilles heels, because if I'm game planning and we're trying to defend Ben Simmons or what have you, when he gets the ball, I'm just telling my defense to sag, plan to shoot the ball, because his strength is just like LeBron's strength early on in his career, and that was getting to the basket. Although LeBron's skill set obviously was way much better than Ben Simmons, because obviously he took shots. There were some shot attempts that he took. So there's a number of guys. Like I said, I can go on and on about basketball. In the
See, now you're in trouble, because now I'm going to be calling you up during NBA season asking for your advice.
Oh man, I love it. I'm looking and waiting to see what Zion is going to do. I like Ja Morant, what he's doing over there at Memphis Grizzlies. I'm sure he's going to be Rookie of the Year. He's definitely running away with it now, unless Zion comes in and just does some magical things and turn their season around and make them playoff contenders. Then he could obviously make a late push for Rookie of the Year. But there's a number of guys. Like I said, I like to watch play.
I love it. T.O., thank you so much for joining us. You're the best. I can't wait to talk to you again next week. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too. Thanks for having me.
Hey guys, if you love what you heard from T.O. today, take that knowledge and use it to win big. Click this link and sign up for PlaySqorr today.